You ever notice how some songs slap you upside the head with a riff so infectious it could start a pandemic, while hiding layers of snark sharper than a beaver's teeth? American Woman by The Guest. Who is that tune? A growling rock beast that's equal parts earworm, sly political jab, and a cheeky postcard from Canada saying, "Thanks but no thanks, eh?" For over 50 years it's been cranked on radios, dissected by fans, and misinterpreted more times than a drunk text at 2 a.m. But beneath that fuzzy guitar snarl lies a story of accidental genius, cross-border beef, and enough trivia to fill a Tim Hortons drive-through line. So, grab your maple syrup, crank the volume, and let's dissect this Canuck classic like it's a frog in high school biology, minus the formaldehyde stink. First, the origins. Picture this. It's 1969, and the Guess Who, those Winnipeg wonders led by guitarist Randy Bachman and vocalist Burton Cummings, are mid-concert in a curling rink of all places, because nothing screams rock and roll like sweeping ice with a broom. Debate rages on the exact spot. Bachman says Kitchener, Cummings claims Scarborough, but either way, it's pure Canadian chaos. Bachman snaps a guitar string mid-set, fiddles with tuning while the crowd mills about like polite hockey fans waiting for overtime. Bam! He stumbles on that iconic riff, a slinky, upward-climbing beast that sounds like it's climbing Mounties on a mission. The band jumps in for an impromptu jam, and Cummings, ever the improviser, belts out lyrics on the spot. American Woman, stay away from me. No script, no plan, just raw, off-the-cuff magic. They snag a bootleg tape from a fan in the audience, talk about crowdsourcing, transcribe the chaos back home, and polish it into gold. Trivia tidbit: this jam sesh was so collaborative, all four band members, Bachman, Cummings, bassist Jim Cale, and drummer Gary Peterson, got songwriting credit. Only happened one other time in their discography. As for the lyrics, not some bitter ex-rant about dodging Yankee dames as urban legend spins it. Nope, it's a metaphor for Uncle Sam himself, the American woman, as the seductive, warmongering US, luring folks into Vietnam-era mess with its war machines and ghetto scenes. Bachman calls it an anti-war protest, born from dodging the draft at the border. Cummings swears it's about how American girls seemed dangerous and fast-living compared to wholesome Canucks. Cale chalks it up to tour fatigue from US city grit. Pick your poison. It's like a Rorschach test for rock fans. Either way, it's cheeky Canadian shade. We love your burgers, but keep your politics, aye? Fast forward to recording. August 1969, RCA's studio in Chicago. Ironic, recording an anti-American anthem in the heart of the Midwest. Producer Jack Richardson, the band's secret weapon, captures the grit without over-polishing. The full album clocks in at 5:07, kicking off with a haunting acoustic intro where Cummings croons about a weary traveler rejecting the hypnotizing American dream. Lines like, "I don't need your war machines, I don't need your ghetto scenes." But for the single, they chop it to a punchy 350, ditching that moody opener for Radio Gold. Why? To make it snappier, dodging the censors who might balk at the overt digs. Result, a track that roars out the gate with Bachman's fuzz-drenched guitar. Not a bass line, folks. That's a myth. Cale's bass grooves underneath, but the riff's all six-string sorcery. Before this, the Guess Who were pop darlings in Canada with hits like These Eyes, but American Woman flipped the script, turning them into riff-slinging rebels. Fun fact, the riff's so sticky it's been called one of rock's greatest. Simple, repetitive, and impossible not to air guitar to. And that fuzzy tone? Bachman jury-rigged it with a broken speaker cone, proving necessity is the mother of distortion. Album rollout time, January 1970, the self-titled American Woman drops amid the dying embers of the 60s. Cover art? A sultry woman draped in stars and stripes, like Lady Liberty gone psychedelic, subtle as a moose in a china shop. The LP's a mishmash. Side A rocks hard with the title track while side B chills out. but the single hits in March, backed with No Sugar Tonight, another jam-born banger, and climbs like a rocket. No massive promo push, just word of mouth from FM DJs spinning it for long-haired hippies dodging the draft. By May 9th, it's #1 on Billboard for 3 straight weeks, toppling the Beatles, Let It Be remnants, and outselling everything in sight. For a band from the frozen prairies, cracking the US market was like planting a flag on Everest in flip-flops. It went gold quick, over 1 million copies, later double platinum in Canada. Globally? Top 10 in Europe, proving even the Swiss and Dutch dig a good anti-imperialist groove. Rise to fame brought the laughs and the drama. Post-hit, they're touring the States, where crowds either fist pump or furrow brows, mistaking it for a chick-bashing anthem. Spoiler, it's not misogynistic, that's lazy listening. Peak hilarity? July 17th, 1970. The Guess Who gigs at the White House for Richard Nixon, Pat Nixon, and a young Prince Charles. Yes, that one. But here's the zinger. Pat Nixon, sniffing anti-American vibes, politely requests they not play American Woman. The band obliges, sticking to safer tunes, but Cummings later quipped it was like being asked to skip your greatest hit at karaoke. Nixon's crew thought it slammed US ladies. The band just chuckled. No bans outright, but some southern stations skipped it for its rebellious tone. Fragile much? And trivia gold. Amid Vietnam protests, Canadian draft dodgers flooded north, making the song a secret anthem for peaceniks. The Guess Who? They just kept touring Maple Leaves High, turning cultural clash into cash. Covers and controversies? Oh, the remix roulette. Lenny Kravitz's 1999 version, slower, sexier, sang guitar solo, he couldn't nail Bachman's tone, so he nixed it, blew up for Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. It hit charts worldwide, won a Grammy for Best Male Rock Vocal, and dragged the original back into the spotlight. Purists griped it was too polished, like swapping moose jerky for vegan kale chips, but it introduced millennials to the riff. Other takes, Swiss metalheads, Crocus went harder in 82, Butthole Surfers turned it punk grimy in 85, even Grindcore Nuts' Anal Cunt shredded it in 95. Controversies linger. Feminists called it sexist, ignoring the metaphor. Patriots deemed it anti-Yankee. Band's response? Nah, it's just a song, lighten up. And that White House myth? Overblown, but it sticks like gum on a boot. Legacy's where it gets weirdly immortal. American Woman infiltrated pop culture like a virus. Kevin Spacey karaoke's it in, American Beauty. Jim Carrey belts it in, The Cable Guy. Heather Graham dances to Kravitz's cover in Austin Powers. TV, Due South, Witchblade, even a Muppets parody where Sam Eagle flips out realizing it's Canadian. No NASA blasts confirmed. Sorry, Space Cowboys, that's folklore. But it's in ads, games, and playlists galore, shorthand for sassy rebellion. Randy Bachman still shreds it live at 80-something, proving riffs age like fine poutine. Why endures? It's that push-pull of allure and annoyance wrapped in a groove that hits the soul and the funny bone. So, there you have it. A 15-minute riff roast on a song that's more Canadian than a double-double. Dive into the full album for that ghost intro, crank the original and ponder. Have you dodged an American Woman of your own? Hit like if this revved your engine, subscribe for more rock roasts, and comment your wildest Guess Who tale. Did it soundtrack your road trip or spark a border debate? Keep questioning, keep rocking, and remember, some anthems are too cheeky to fade. Volume up, folks, eh?